Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Grad Center. This video is brought to you by Biochem. Today's session, I am going to talk about how to write a very good cold email. I'm going to talk about what a cold email is and then what to include in your cold email. So one key thing to do when you are beginning your graduate school application journey is to learn how to send cold emails. Cold email is just an email that you send to the professors in the universities abroad to show your interest in working under your supervision and also give a brief introduction about yourself, as well as some skills and then technical competencies that you possess for them to know that you are a good fit and then you'll be a very good student for their lab. So I'm going to talk about the various components of a cold email. Now, cold email has three main parts. Every effective cold email has three major parts. We have the introductory paragraph and then the middle paragraph whereby you talk about how you got to know the professor, and then the last paragraph where you talk about certain skills that you possess and then you request for a potential Zoom meeting with your supervisor. Let me start with the introduction. In the introduction, this is where you introduce yourself. So for instance, hello Professor so and so, my name is Roxanne and I am a biochemistry graduate from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in Ghana. You start by telling the professor your name and then your qualification. So let's say you are done with your master's or you are done with your bachelor's degree. Just let him know the most recent degree that you have, and then after talking about your degree and you have a very good GPA, go ahead and then state your GPA. But if you don't have a very strong GPA, do not worry yourself to quote your GPA in the cold email. And then the last sentence in the introduction should state your purpose of sending him or her the email. So let's say I am reaching out to you to express my profound interest in your research. So you just state your reason why you tested the professor, or like you sent the professor the email to be, as your last statement in the introductory paragraph. Now, the middle paragraph talks about how you came across the professor's research. So you can just go straight and then say that I came across your research when I was looking at your faculty profile from the University of so website. So you just let him know or her know that you first of all came across the research that he or she is doing when you were looking at his faculty profile from the university's website. And other people to get to know certain professors when they read an article that is published by that professor. So let's say you have read one paper that was published by the professor. You can just go straight and then let the professor know that you came across his research from one paper that he published or she published, and then state the title of the paper, and then it will be very good if you can talk about some of the key findings that was made in the published article. So you can let him or her know that from the research that from the paper that he published, you learned that this and this and that were the findings that he had. And then you can potentially try to criticize the paper for him to know or for her to know your strong abilities to read and then understand research papers and then be able to criticize papers. So you don't need to criticism is not as in trying to show that he has made a mistake or whatever, but just trying to let him know or her know that you really understand how to read research papers and then how to develop a strong critique from those published articles. And now, after talking about how you came across the professor's research, whether you came across the research from the university's portal or you read a paper and that made you came across that professor's work, then you move on to say that you have realized that he or she is interested in this area of research. So let's say you realize that that professor is very interested in studying cancer biology. So you can just go ahead and say that I realize that you are interested in exploring cancer biology, and I am also interested in exploring cancer biology. Let him or him know that you are also interested, or like your research interest also lies with what he is doing. And now, after stating that, let's say you are also interested in cancer research, then be specific about the exact thing that you want to explore in cancer studies. So let's say I would like to explore how the up regulation of tumor suppressor genes and then the down regulation of oncogenes would affect the pathogenesis of cancers. So just be specific about the exact thing that you would like to explore under cancer biology. So let's say you are interested in what CAR T cell therapy. That is where a situation whereby you want to or like a new technique whereby you isolate lymphocytes from a cancer patient and then you reprogram the T lymphocytes to target only cancer cells, and then you reintroduce it into the patient, and then the newly programmed T cells will target the cancer cells specifically and then kill them. So let's say this is what you want to do. I just want you to be specific about what you want to do. So if you are also someone who is interested in, let's say, an area like host pathogen interaction. Host pathogen interaction is a very broad area of research. So you should be specific about the exact thing that you like to do. So for instance, I am interested in exploring how interaction between sporozoites and then the receptors on the liver surface occurs to facilitate the pathogenesis of malaria. So this is an exact thing that I would like to do. I just want you to be specific. Don't just say that I am interested in cancer biology and I believe my research interest allows you to know. Be specific. Just state something innovative that you like to do for the professor to also see that you have the potential of thinking, like a scientist, and you'll be a very good fit for their lab as well. And then after stating that you are also interested in his research and then stating the exact thing that you like to explore, then I would like you to also state that you believe, let the professor know how the ability of you learning under his supervision would help you in your future research endeavors. So let's say I believe that by getting the chance to learn under your supervision, I will gain in-depth understanding and then broad understanding of my field of interest, and this would help me in my future research endeavors. And now you then have to move on to the last paragraph, the third paragraph. So it is this third paragraph that you have the chance to talk about some technical skills that you possess. So if you are applying to an area, or like you are sending a cold email to a professor who is in the area of molecular biology, I would encourage you to state some of the molecular techniques like PCR, molecular cloning, restriction digestion, gel electrophoresis. Just make mention of them, mentioning some of the molecular biology techniques that you are familiar with, for the professor to also see that you are someone who is competent enough, you know your left and right, and then you'll be a very good fit for their lab. And then after talking about the competencies and then the skills and then the experiences that you have, you can briefly state some of the relevant courses that you took in your undergrad studies or like your master's level. So let's say if the professor is doing more of molecular biology work, you can let the professor know that, let's say during your undergrad studies, you took courses like molecular biology, immunology, and then microbiology, or any other course that relates directly with what the professor is doing in the lab that you want to join. And then before you end, let the professor know that you are applying to this book. So let's say I am applying to Harvard University, and then I would like the chance to learn under your supervision. So I'm reaching out to you for potential collaboration of me learning under your supervision. Let the professor know that you are considering applying to maybe master's program or PhD program in the university that he is working in, and then you would like the opportunity to learn under the supervision of that professor. And then you end by potentially requesting a Zoom meeting. So let the professor know that you are available for a Zoom meeting at his convenient time, so that you can explain yourself more to him, or you can share more about you to the professor. Like you can let the professor know you more through the interviews. So this is basically what you have to include in your code email, and then you thank him, and then yours faithfully or yours sincerely, and then you write your name. This is basically the format for writing a very good code email. So after sending the code email, there are two things involved. It is either you get a very good response or you will not get a response at all. You will either get a response or you will not get a response at all. Most professors, they don't like responding to people's cold email. So when you send 1, 2, 3, or even 10 cold emails without receiving any response, you shouldn't give up. You should never give up when you keep sending the emails and then the responses are not coming. Just try as much as possible to send more emails. The more you send, the more you increase your chances of getting positive responses. So keep sending the emails, even if you keep sending as many as you can. And I believe that through constant dedication in sending the email, you will end up getting a professor who is willing to work with you. So the responses when, in case the professor responds to your email, there are two things involved as well. It is either the professor will directly request a Zoom meeting with you. Normally, professors who have funding in their lab, who have won, research grants, and then they are really eager, they are eagerly wanting students to work with them. Some of them will just go ahead and then schedule a Zoom meeting with you and then get to know you more through the meeting, even before giving you the head start or giving you the go ahead to apply to the school. That is what some professors do. And some professors too, from the response, they will just tell you that put in your application and then state it in your SOP that you have kept in touch with him or her, and then he or she has given you the go ahead to apply to the school. So just do that. In case the professor gives you the go ahead to apply to the university, just go ahead and then apply and then state the professor's name there. Or some professors too will just tell you that you have a very good background and then they don't have hand in selecting students. They don't have a control over the students who are to get admitted. But in case you get selected into the school, you have the chance to come and then do rotation in their lab. And when you develop interest in their research, you will finally end up in their lab. So when you get such a response as well, such a response too is a positive one. You can just go straight and then put in your application and then state it in the SOP that you have kept in touch with Professor so and so, and then the professor has given you go ahead to apply to the university, and you would potentially wish to work under that professor's supervision. So this is basically how to go by cold email, and then I believe that when you constantly send the emails, you would end up getting a very good response from the professors. Thank you very much. I hope this video helps you. I will share samples of code emails under the description of this video, so feel free to check them out and then use it to maybe create your own. I am not encouraging you to copy it, but try to modify it to make it your own. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, help me by subscribing and share this video to your friends as well. Thank you. See you another time.